Today our topic is measures of dispersion. This is the topic which is followed by measures of central tendency. Measures of central tendency means what? It will try to find out the value which is very concentrated. That means out of many observations which are given in a problem, eh, from that we will try to identify the most concentrated point. That means that one value will describe the complete population. That means the total number of observations are explained by a single value is called as measures of central tendency. For example, uh, finding out the average of the total class. That means I'll be collecting all the pass percentages of each and every individual and finding out the average for those pass percentages. Now I'll get one value that which is called as 62.5 or 80.3, whatever the value might be. Now, if that 80.3, that is the only one value which is describing the 100 students who are there in the class, means what? I can say that on the average, all the students in the class are of first class with distinction. Average of the class is 80.3. That means if our average is greater than 70, I can say that all the students are first class with distinction. If your average is only 62.5, that means I can say that the students in the class are of only first class students. That means the only one value which is going to describe the complete all other values in the given distribution is called as measures of central tendency. In that we have mean, median, mode. Mean is the average of the given observations, median is the middlemost value of the given observations, and mode is the most repeated value of the given observations. So this is how we found out central tendencies by using different type of formulae. After that, we have the concept is measures of dispersion. Dispersion means what? Dispersion means scatteredness of the observations from the actual mean. See, uh, in a general scenario, now once our college has started, then immediately what do? All the students will come from different places to the college, and once the class is finished, immediately you'll go to the different places. That means your home. That means one of the student might be the one of the lady might be staying in a hostel nearby the college, in front of the college and behind the college, and some people might be traveling since to a 12 kilometers, 17 kilometers, or 5 kilometers, whatever it might be. That means the distance of each and every observation from the actual mean is called as the dispersion. Now we have different type of distances, right? Some student is moving up to 1 kilometer, one student is going only up to the 100 meters, and the other one is going to the 17 kilometers. So I wanted to find out the average of these distances from the college, the average distance of the houses of each and every student from the college. That is called as the measures of dispersion. Okay, let me show you a simple example. That, see, we were given 5 observations here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Immediately if I ask you what is the median, you say 3. What is the average, that means mean, again you say it is 3. See now, what is the difference from 3 to 1? That means what is the distance from 1 to 3? It is 2. And the distance from 3 to 5 is 2. Now, the distance from 2 to 3 is 1. At the same time, 3 to 4 is also 1. Now, what are the distances what we are having? 2, 2, 1, 1. So, we are going to find out the average of those distances. That is called as measures of dispersion. So, the measure of scatteredness of the variables from the actual mean is called as measures of dispersion. So to find out the measure of these things, we have 4 different type of measures, man. 4 measures of dispersion. The first one is range. First one is range. Second one, mean deviation. Third one, quartile deviation. And the fourth one is standard deviation. Here it was mentioned that variance, standard deviation. Actually, both variance and standard deviation denote the same thing, but there should be one variable which is called as quartile deviation. Okay. So now let's get into these topics. What are all these things known as, and what are the use of those things? Okay. Now let's get started with the first topic, that is range. Range means what? Range means what? Usually we see that in any in any explanations or any videos or any textbook, once we refer, we just see that the formula like range is equal to highest value minus lowest value. Highest value minus lowest value. What is the use of finding out the highest value minus lowest value? What is the range? What do you mean by range here? A range is nothing but the capacity of something, some entity. Capacity. See, let me. Capacity of, let's take an example of classroom, capacity of class, or capacity of a person, or capacity of any animal. Let us take the example of some animal. What is its range? It can take up to 50 kgs or 100 kgs of a bullock cart. So that is its range. What is the range of a person? What is the range of the class? That means how many number of people I can accommodate in a class. What is the minimum number of strength I can make the people to sit in a class, and what is the maximum number of people where I can accommodate within a class. Now, what is the range of a person? Let me ask you a question that what is your range? Then what do you say that? What is your range in eating? Sir, I can eat 200 grams as minimum, sir, and maximum I can eat up to 500 grams. That means minimum is 200 grams and maximum is half kg. That means that is your capacity where you consume your food for a meal. Someone might say that my range is MBA, sir. That means I am suitable for all the jobs which are relating to MBA. I'm BTech guy, sir. That means you can apply for the jobs which are related to the programming language or the different type of jobs which are suitable for the BTech. That is your range. See, as an MBA graduate, if I ask you to write a program, will you do that? No, that is not in your range. That is not you are not capable to do that thing. So that is called as range. Now, the beautiful examples like the best example for using of range. If a learner want to go for a swimming, now once you go to the swimming pool, the depth of the swimming pool will not be equal on the both ends. One side it will be starting from 4 feet, and the other end might be of ending at the 9 feet or 11 feet or 12 feet. Now, why do we wanted to know the range of the swimming pool? What is the range of the swimming pool here now again? If it is 4 to 11, 11 minus 4 is 7 feet. So what is that? Why do I need to find out the range of that swimming pool? Because if I'm a learner, if I don't know swimming, I'll try to swim at the 4 feet or 5 feet or to the maximum 7 feet. If I learned, now if I'm a moderate swimmer, then I'll go from the 6 feet to the 8 feet or 9 feet. And if I'm the best swimmer, that means I can go to the depth where I can sustain. Now then you can swim up to the 11 feet or 13 feet also. Okay, so that is how we will try to find out the one which is called as range. Range is nothing but capacity of any thing or person or animal, whatever it can be taken to be considered. So the best example might be what here? Example is swimming pool. So this is regarding our range concept. Now in this range, we have formula to find out the answer. Is just now I told you that if it is the minimum feet is 4 and the maximum is 13, we say that 13 minus 4 is our answer. Now likewise we will be given some observations. We have to find out the range. Range means again identify the highest value in the given number of observations. Here both are in 80s and 89 is the highest value. So 89 minus the least value is within tens. 10 means out of which 15 comma 12, so the least value is 12. Our answer might be, our answer is 67 is our answer. I hope the same thing, right? So that is how we try to identify the range of the any given answers. 67
77, sir.
or 77?
77, sir.
77,
77.
yeah. Okay.